Yes, sir. My name's Zakashi, guys, and in this video here, we are going to be doing a best teams of the month for the month, which is November. It's the end of the month now, so it's only right I do this every single month. We have to dive into what are the top 5 best teams that are currently running the meta to give especially some new players some insight on teams that are actually just dominating over everything. We also do tier lists to actually show every time an LF unit comes out what units are most popular, but we also want to show that if there's a variety of teams and give people options, because some people don't want to use what the new unit is. For example, I've got on the screen right here, the month is ending with the festival starting. LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta have actually released, and they are the shiny bright new LF that everybody's using. Not everybody, because a lot of people have decided to skip. So that's the point of this video, so you don't just have to opt into one, but there'll obviously be more dominant team than other teams. One thing I want to point out as a disclaimer for this video, there is no order to this list, and I'll mention it again because people like to skip. But if you're not skipping, comment Ultra VB so I know that you actually heard all of this. There's no order to this list, so the team that's 5, 4 for third could be better than the team that's first, but it's more so just to point out the top 5 teams that are actually in the meta. You can order them yourself, but this is not for me to have a debate on what team is better than the other, more so just the top 5 teams that are dominating the game right now, and then you can take that and do what you want with it. Let me know what you guys think about the list I'm going to make, because I do this every single month, and next month is just the final month, and I believe this month, November, is actually the anniversary of when this idea was birthed. So yeah, hopefully you guys are going to enjoy this video. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 40,000 subscribers. All my social media links are going to be on the bottom of the screen. This is the YouTube channel. We've got a Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. So make sure to check me out on all of those, man. I live stream every single day, and we talk about units, showcase units, do everything on the stream. So if you see me live 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. GMT, sometimes double on the weekend, so earlier than that, maybe around 3, 4, 5. Tap in, ask questions. It's the best place to ask me questions, I want to point out. So if you ever see me live, pop in and just say hi. I really appreciate seeing new faces and whatnot. Obviously people. But yeah, man, I'm not going to hold you guys up any longer. Let's actually get into the top 5 best teams of the month for the month of November, my actual birthday month. But my birthday's already gone past. It was on the 10th. So yeah, let's get into this, man. So the first team here we're going to be diving into is actually GT, and that's because obviously they hold the shiny bright new units. But outside of that, they've actually just been getting consistent buffs all the way building up to this first part of the festival. So it's only right that I put them on the list, because a lot of people have actually just been using them, and you can expect as such with the new 17 dropping alongside the LF Super Saiyan 4 Goku and Vegeta. This is the GT team that I'd say is probably the most popular variation of GT. You'd either be going mono green or you'd be going green, green, yellow. But I've also put 17 there because a lot of people would just add him on so you don't get directly color counted for a couple snakes in the meta that be using mono purple, indirecting a certain person there. But yeah, yeah, so this is what I've got here, as you can see. But there are other variations of the team that you could pull out. So like I said, you could run a green, green, yellow variation where you could actually Zenkai buff this guy, and then the Z ability works here because everybody here is GT. You could actually go for a mono green build. So if I actually take off the GT installment here and actually put sparking on, and then actually take off these two, and then I go to the green section, you can actually triple Zenkai buff G4 and this guy here, but you'd also be triple Zenkai buffing him, including himself. But then you add a nice clean Z ability here from Yamcha, who's actually adding 45% to strike attack for green and yellow elements, which is everybody's in a green on this team, so that's good. The reason why this works is because literally everybody on the team is green, but these guys tag switch, so that makes everybody else pretty much safe. For any purples that want to come against the greens, when these guys tag switch, they'll be type advantage against the purple, and that works very well. But this is not all we've got for GT. We've got other builds as well, so let's just go back into it. If you wanted to, you could take off a couple of these Zenkai buffs. You might want to take off G4, so you keep the new boys double Zenkai buff. You maybe put Super Baby 2 on for support. You could obviously have the Hellfighter 17. You could put on who else? This guy here, of course, putting back 4Q on to actually get a good supporting role. It's as well as an ultimate damager. You could opt in for the extreme and add HP which is actually very, very good. These are just all the units that are just mainly valuable on the GT team. I haven't seen anybody use this guy yet, but he does have cover nullification when he pops his main, which is very valuable. But as you can see, GT has come in, it's coming slowly. They need a few more units, I think, or maybe like an Ultra, not Omega Shenron, but if it is Omega Shenron, he needs to get a Platinum equip, the Ultra free-to-play Omega Shenron. But GT, as you can see, is coming along. It's not the worst team, and it is a team that's very much usable at this point, but I would not say it's actually the best team either. But they do deserve a place on this list, and doesn't mean they're the best. Just for the guys that skip, this is not in order. It's not in order. But yeah, number 1 on the list, we've got GT here. If you want to learn about equipment, I've got a video for both 17 and Goku and Vegeta on the channel. Best teams and equipments for them directly, so make sure to tune into that. It's already on the channel, so check out both of those. Number 2 on this list, we've actually got Sun Family, and really this is just Hybrid Saiyans and Sun Family in one. But I'm going to dive into Sun Family first and actually separate them. So you already know number 3 is going to be Hybrid Saiyans. But the reason I mentioned Sun Family is because Sun Family is just Hybrid Saiyans all in one. And Hybrid Saiyan's been a dominant team ever since Beast Gohan dropped. But in addition to that, you can obviously add the new Goku and Vegeta on the leader slot and actually get a lot out of it. But really and truly, for guys that don't really want to just run the full hybrid setup, people have just been putting their favorite units literally onto the leader slot for Sun Family and calling it Sun Family. But really and truly, if we change the tag here and actually just apply it to Sun Family, hopefully my eyes can find the Sun Family tag. Where is it? Let me scroll slowly. I've seen Vegeta Clan Sun Families there we go. There's not many options that I would actually say. I'd say pretty much keep it Hybrid Saiyans, which would be the same as Sun Family, but you can definitely put the new guys on, the new 4s on the leader slot to actually get the value out of it. Some people might want to put the Blue Bros on. I do not advise, but you could if you're forcing it. The only difference is with the new guys is that they're actually boosted. Some people actually bring out Pan, so then it just keeps it Hybrid Saiyans anyways. There's not really much substitutes. I've seen some people try 4Q on because he's Zenkai'd, and if you have him high stars, 9 stars up, I would actually recommend doing this. It's actually pretty neat. And I've also seen some people have MUI on, even though I don't see it much nowadays. But as you can see, Sun Family is pretty much just Hybrid Saiyans. It's just that the equips are different, because there's actually a Sun Family Pure that gives 5% to strike. I don't really touch on equips in this actual best teams of the month because there's so many different equips, and that would make the video last forever. But we really would just want to get a hold of what characters are more dominant than others, building a whole team in total. So Sun Family is just a team that definitely got it, man, but it's really just Hybrid Saiyans, and you're going to see in the next part it's pretty much the same thing. So yeah, they're number 2 on this list. We've got Sun Family, especially with the new tag 4s that can actually go on the leader slot as you wish. Where are they? There they are. So yeah, number 2, Sun Family. Number 3 on this list, we've actually got Hybrid Saiyans. Now, Hybrid Saiyans is slightly different from Sun Family, and the only reason it's different is because you have a couple people buffing for the Z ability. Like, for example, this guy here. You can see in this guy's Z ability, he only buffs blue and yellow. That means only Beast Han, Pan, and Future Gohan are getting the Z ability. But that's good because I've only put Pan on the leader, so she would still get a use of that Z ability, and then you'd actually be able to get optimal damage out of this. This Trunks is here because he has an amazing Z ability. You would never really use him, and your 3 would be Pan, Beast Han, and Future Gohan. Now, in the scenario that somebody is bringing Legends Limited Cooler against you, everybody knows that Legends Limited Cooler goes type neutral when he's against the Super Saiyan. So having Super Saiyan Gohan on your team, the Future Gohan, it makes your team a liability because Beast Han won't be able to do as much damage. Not to say he wouldn't still do a lot of damage. He wouldn't be able to do as much damage because Cooler would be going type neutral, even though Cooler's red and Beast Han is blue. So what you do in that case is you actually bring blue Pan, and you actually run a blue red variant with the red Pan, and pretty much no team would be able to counter that because of how OP Beast Han is by himself. He's a one-man army. But if they don't, then Future Gohan, you have a double layer of endurance, 1 layer guaranteed, but a double layer here if they rush you. Pan, which just literally ends their combo and lowers sub count, so you can get Beast Han back in and spread the buffs around your whole team. Is a very effective team and probably the most dominant team we've ever seen in the game. Low key, high key. Let me know what you guys think about that take right there. But definitely this is a team that's a big threat, and even with GT shining, it's literally still a team that's unmatched at its highest potential. With Pan and Beast still boosted, it's going to be a big challenge for you guys to actually counter this team unless you're using this team. But I will also point out that they will be leaving the boost very soon, specifically Pan and Beast Han. So maybe things will change as we head into December. But for November, Hybrid Saiyans are definitely number 3 on this list, and they're a team I have to mention. If I didn't mention them, this team will be fraud, undeniably. But yeah, number 3, we've got hybrid Saiyans for this top 5 list. Next up on the list, number 4, we've actually got movies, but the difference is you literally just have Piccolo on the team because he was on the banner with Pan and Beast on the superhero banner, which is actually a very good team. It's not the best team, but it's an option that you can actually have, and you just go for the Zenkai buff still because it's mainly going to be Son family on the bench. But that's why Piccolo's on the leader slot, because he wouldn't get a Z ability from the blue Pan, which is actually most effective. Her Z ability is GT and I believe Son family. I'll just check that for you just to be 100%. There you go. So all of the Son family members on the bench, or on the outside of the leader slot rather, are going to get that Z ability. Trunks is here because his Z ability is good, but he doesn't get buffs from anybody, but you won't ever be using him, so it's fine. Great Saiyaman 1 and 2 get buffs from everybody, but you won't be using them. They're literally just here to Zenkai buff Pan. You could also opt out of the Zenkai buff for Pan and then double Zenkai buff the Beast himself using, where's the Fist Goku? There he is. My eyes just couldn't see him for some reason, but I'd actually just go for the Zenkai buff with Pan. And you can see there's not really a lot of variation with movies, but if I'm going to mention some units just that could possibly be dangerous, I would not opt in for any other blue but Beast Han. But if you have a 14-star USG, I would actually say he is usable, but he's going to be glass and he's actually a very bad unit. So you think about considering that the tag 4s are also in the meta, so I'm not going to talk about him too heavily. I said specifically 14 stars, 10 stars upwards at least. Beast Han is obviously going to be your main blue. You don't need a green at all, so I'm not going to mention any of the greens. The purples, Rev Han, if you have him 9 stars up, could be very, very good, simply because he has revival, so that's that extra layer of support for your team, especially with his main ability pre-revival, could be solid. I wouldn't recommend any of the yellow, sorry. Some people like using Tapion, but I don't even think it's worth it if you already have Pan, so don't even consider that. And then some people might just want to slide in Cooler on the leader slot, maybe if you don't have Pan. I don't see how you wouldn't, because she was literally free, but I just want to mention him because he's not the worst, and he does have some things that are actually very valuable that could actually make him shine just here and there, but it's mainly against just Super Saiyans because that's how his kit works. But yeah, they're number 4 on this list. I feel like they just kind of have to be mentioned because they include literally the Beast, Gohan and Pan, which literally have been on 3 of the teams of this video, which is insane. And that makes this 4 because Beast, Han and Pan are literally that insane. But yeah, that's number 4 for this video. We got movies. They just had to be mentioned. I don't see why I wouldn't mention it because they're literally the same as the other teams that I just mentioned. But yeah, man, unfortunately that brings the video to an end, man. There's no number 5 on this list. I usually do honorable mentions as well, but there's so little variety in the meta that it doesn't even matter like what team you're pretty much using, because they're all going to include the same units. We need a lot more variety in the meta, and I think the big issue is that they don't drop many units at once. They just drop maybe 2 units on a banner. Like even on the superhero banner, we literally got just the 17 and the tag bros. Is meant to be festival where they will drop a lot of units. We didn't even get 2 banners. This new format that they've done literally just like made it so like the game stays the same. It's gonna be stale. But yeah, I feel like for the last few months that's been a big issue with Legends, and it's actually led us to not have a lot of variety. I've literally not been making it to 5 teams because of how the meta has been moving. They need to add a lot more variety, and Legends need to do a better job with that so that people have options. You don't want to be forced into just using the main banner units that are just new. You want to invest into a team and actually get value out of it. Of course, the leader slot is there, so you don't strictly have to actually not summon because you have a certain team, but just having the same teams every single PvP game is it's too stale, man. We need more variety, and I feel like even with just me making 4 teams and not 5, and not even mentioning any honorable mentions, says a lot in itself. So yeah, man, hopefully you guys did enjoy this video though. If you haven't already, make sure to press the subscribe button, man. We're on this grind to 40,000 subscribers. I put a lot of detail into these videos, so please show some love and support. I'd appreciate it, man. Everything is appreciated, big time. Everything, even you just watching this video. If you're listening to me right now, love you, man. All my social media is going to be on the bottom of the screen. There's the YouTube channel. We've got Twitter, Twitch, Reddit, Instagram, and a Discord link all in the description below. I do also stream every single day, 9 to 11 p.m. GMT, and sometimes double on the weekend, so earlier, 3, 4, 5 p.m. GMT. So convert that to whatever time zone you're in. If you see me, pop in, just say hi. It's the best place to ask me questions outside of social medias, because social medias I have to check and I get a lot of DMs. I still try to respond. I know a lot of content creators might not, but I do my best with that department. Appreciate you guys for watching, man. This is the top 5 best teams of the month, even though we didn't have a full 5. My name is Zakashi, guys, and I will see you guys in the next one, man.